grains pulling back midweek with soybeans extending Tuesday's weakness. Ag Day's Michelle Rook has more on what it will take to return to the green this week in Markets Now.
Cattle and grains all in negative territory on Wednesday. Rich Nelson from Allendale is in with analysis. Rich, grains lower. How much of that was profit taking?
Yeah, I think there was a good deal of profit taking, especially after a recent rally here, and especially on the oilseed side here. Of course, we do have a new concern of maybe possible a change to that biofuel hopes we had. And keep in mind, we had a proposal for biofuel announced this summer. Maybe a concern here that with a coming December announcement, we might have a little shortfall in expectations, though.
The 12 million bushels of China business that we got confirmed on soybeans, is that priced into the market, all of this business that we've had so far?
For the most part. And keep in mind here, in our opinion, at least the main concern is not with the China business. We do feel that will be coming. Our real concern right now is really with a non-China buyer who still is going to be the bulk of U.S. exports this year. This becomes a little bit of concern here, especially as Brazil has switched to a discount versus U.S. pricing. So a little concern overall about the total export story here.
Yeah. And we did have a little higher dollar. Did that put some pressure on the grains?
You can certainly argue that, and that might have been a factor for us on the wheat side as well. So a little concern here about maybe some pressure. Maybe the discussion for certainly for soybeans is have we reached a high enough price maybe to find quote unquote economic value here as well.
Yeah. So conversely, how much lower do you think prices fall here before we start getting some value buying or at least find some support?
For the soybean side, we actually think there can be a little bit of a range, but some good firm support, maybe around that 11.20, 11.30 range. So can we fall 20 or 30 cents? Maybe so in the very short term. Realistically, though, we do have some good firm support at that lower end of $11, though.
And Rich, a pretty ugly day in the cattle new lows for the move again. Is that fund liquidation or lower cash?
I do think we have a host of stories here. This concern that possibly the import story as we go into 2026 may override the drop in U.S. Supply, which is still set in stone for next year. That's one concern. Also, some people might point out that today's release of backed up weight data does confirm we're still at record levels as far as U.S. cattle weights right now as well.
Thanks so much, Rich Nelson with Allendale. That is Markets Now.
To talk to Rich Nelson one-on-one, call 800-262-7538.
Watch Markets Now with Michelle Rook on the Farm Journal YouTube channel, keeping you updated throughout the day on the markets at the open, midday, and close. Find out what moved the markets today and what to expect the market to do next.